Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the next important expression for the diffraction of light, that is Fraunhofer diffraction due to a single slit. In the last video we already had discussed about the types of diffraction. In that we discussed Fraunhofer diffraction, which is nothing but the distance between source of light and the screen on which diffraction pattern is obtained are effectively at infinite distance from the diffracting system. That means this is called a narrow slit and this is called screen. The distance between this narrow slit and the screen is infinite, and whereas the diffraction pattern is produced, and that diffraction we are represent in terms of Fraunhofer diffraction. We already know that this Fraunhofer diffraction does not depends on the size and shape of the slit. It is independent on the distance, but it depends on the angle of inclination between the secondary source and the original source which is passing through the given slit. That's why here we are represent the angle theta, which are considered to be the angle of inclination between the two sources were passing through this narrow slit A and B. So consider the diagram. In that, here this parallel beam of light we are represent original source. This AB is called narrow slit, where C is called central point of this narrow slit AB. That's why this narrow slit AB is divided into two halves, CA and CB. And the width of this narrow slit AB we are represent in terms of what? Small a. That xy is called screen. Here we are represent 2 points P0 and P. So the P0 points we are represent in terms of central bright band because it's having maximum intensity, and for this point P0 we are consider alternate dark and bright band. So here today we have to discuss about what is the position of secondary minimum, what is the position of secondary maximum, and what is the width of this central maximum by using Fraunhofer's diffraction due to a single slit. So look at here. Here I draw these two arrows with red and black lines. So these lines are parallel beam of light which are considered to be original source, but this parallel beam of light is passing through this narrow slit AB. They gets diffracted. That means what? They are changing their path, and according to the Huygens principle, each and every point on this slit AB is a source of secondary disturbance. So these two sources, red and black, are nothing but the secondary sources of the original source. Why? Because of the narrow slit AB, the original source is diffracted, or the original source gets disturbed, and because of that one they follow another path for the propagation of the wave. So these are nothing but the secondary sources. But when you consider this black line, these are nothing but central. These are focused on the P0 at point, whereas P0 is called central point. Why? Because this P0 central point is passing through the center of the slit AB, and because of that one P0 is called central maximum point. Okay. So see the notations. That black line is represent original source, this black line, but after this narrow slit AB, this black line are represent disturbance of secondary sources. Again this red line are nothing but secondary source due to disturbance of original source. Here just for your understanding I am writing Huygens principle. Huygens principle. We already know that what is the Huygens principle. Okay, so the this P is called central point of sorry, here I wrote P. We have to write down P0. P0 is called central point of maximum intensity, whereas P is called intensity of the band depending on the secondary sources. That means if the intensity is maximum, then we can say that the wavelength of the light is what? Maximum. And if the intensity is minimum, that means what? Wavelength of light is minimum. Because of that one, the another point P we have considered in terms of maximum and minimum intensity depending on the secondary sources. CL is represent convex lens because here we are consider Fraunhofer diffraction, and in case of Fraunhofer diffraction, the diffraction pattern is obtained by using convex lens only. Why? Because the distance is infinite. Okay, so AB is narrow slit, XY screen where diffraction pattern is obtained. Small a is represent width of the slit, and small x, look at here, the distance between these 2 points where maximum or minimum point is obtained, or central maximum central minimum point is obtained. The distance between P0 and P is nothing but small x, and that x is called fringe width, and we know the formula x is equal to lambda d upon small d. We already discussed the formula x is equal to fringe width in the previous expression. We had proof that the fringes are equally spaced. In that we already derived the formula for fringe width. So come to the explanation. So first point is what? Suppose a parallel beam of monochromatic light. Monochromatic means nothing but single source of light of wavelength lambda, because here we are considering only one light. That's why that light having particular wavelength which is denoted by lambda, incident normally upon a narrow slit AB of width A, which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper, and C is nothing but the center of this slit. At point P0, bright central image is formed. Here we have to prove that why P0 is represent central bright image. We will discuss in the next point. CA and CB represent upper and lower halves of this slit travel the same distance, hence the path difference is 0. That means if you consider CA and CB both are upper and lower halves of this slit, then if you consider path difference from CA to CB with respect to this secondary sources of light, then the path difference is represent 0. So all the secondary waves reinforce each other. Reinforce means what? They redistributed, or we can say that they redisturb with each other. At point P0 they meet. That means after this original source passing through this slit AB, each and every source of light is reinforced with each other, but that reinforced waves or these secondary waves is meet at point P0 only, and because of that one the term or the point P0 is called central maximum, and it is the brightest band in the diffraction pattern, whereas the intensity at this point P0, the intensity is maximum as compared to another alternate maximum and minimum intensity. And the fourth point is what? The phase, that means this angle, the phase of all secondary waves are same and they meet at point P0, which means what? Whatever coming from the light passing through the narrow slit, passing through the convex lens, when they meet at point or at a single particular point, so that single particular point we are represent in terms of central maximum point. And whenever we consider the term central maximum, at this stage everything having maximum value, but here we have considered the term light. That's why here we are using only one term, that is called intensity. Okay, so the next point, this is explanation of this diagram. Convex lens. Why we are using convex lens here? Because here we have to find out width of the central maximum point. That means this value small a we have to find out, and whenever we have to find out width of the narrow slit, we have to consider a focal point. Okay, focal point means what? When light is passing through the convex lens, the waves are reinforced with each other and they meet at a particular point, and that point we are represent in terms of what? Focal point. So here we are represent the focal point in terms of f. Okay, so the next point is what? First we have to find out position of secondary minimum. That means the position of the point P. This is called position of this secondary minimum. This is called central bright band, and another point we are considering in terms of secondary minimum, position of secondary minimum. See in figure, BE represent path difference between the secondary waves starting from A and B. Why? Because the secondary waves traveling in the direction incline at an angle theta to the direction of CP0. Because of that when BE is produced. Look at here. Whenever we consider this AB is a narrow slit, and when this secondary source, that red lines, when secondary source is produces, they can touch the original source and then they travel and meet at point P, and because of that one, this distance we are represent in terms of what? In terms of path difference having particular value. That's why we are consider for secondary sources BE is a path difference. Again I'll repeat why, because we are consider the angle produced by the secondary source theta. Because of that one, for secondary source we are consider another path that is called BE. For original source we are consider the path CP0, where P0 is a central bright band. Because of that one, whatever waves coming from the original source and meet at point P0, at this stage the path difference is 0. But whenever we consider alternate bright and dark band, the path difference is changes. Why? Because angle of inclination is changes. Look at here. Suppose if you consider tertiary, secondary, tertiary sources. Suppose here again passing through this here, and again meet at point another point. Suppose if you consider Q, so the angle of inclination is what? Increases. Again if you consider fourth number wave, again angle of inclination is what? Increases. Again for fifth number, angle of inclination is increases. And when angle of inclination is increases, their path difference is different. Why? Because they are changing their path, they are disturbing their original sources. So here we have considered only one point, that is point P. That's why on this particular point we are consider path difference is BE. Okay, so in triangle ABE, look at here, this ABE, theta is here, so opposite. So what is sine theta? Sine theta is nothing but opposite upon hypotenuse. The opposite which is represent BE, and hypotenuse we are represent AB. So here we can write sine theta is equal to BE upon AB, but AB is represent what? Width of the slit. So AB is equal to A, so we can write BE is equal to A sine theta. This is called path difference with respect to particular point P. If you consider n number of points, then here we represent n sine theta n, but the path difference is represented in terms of what? Lambda. How it comes? Here we have to use some cases with respect to path difference. The first case is, this is your first case, this is your second, and that is your third case. So what is first case? If path difference is equal to the wavelength of light, that means if this path difference, which BE, if this path difference is equal to lambda, which is wavelength of light used, then P will be point of minimum intensity, and because of that one, the whole wavefront can be considered to be two halves, CA and CB. And if the path difference is lambda, then the point P we are represent in terms of what? Minimum intensity. But if you consider two halves, CA and CB, so look at here. So what is the light? Wavelength of light is represent. Look at this AB, suppose represent in terms of lambda. If this is CA and CB, these are the half part of the given slit, so that is represent lambda by 2, and this one is represent lambda by 2. So in the second case we can say that if in between A and B lambda, then AC which is represent lambda by 2 and CB which is represent lambda by 2. At this stage, the path difference between the secondary waves from these points A and C is lambda by 2. Similarly, every point in the upper half CA and the lower half CB, there is a corresponding point in the lower half CB, and the path difference between the secondary waves from this point is what? Lambda by 2. Thus, because of this one, destructive interference takes place, and when destructive interference takes place at point P, then point P is considered to be minimum intensity. And the third case, if BE is equal to 2 lambda. That means the path difference is equal to the double of the wavelength of light. Then what will happen? Then also the point P is what? Minimum intensity. Why? Because if AB we are represent lambda, BE we are represent 2 lambda, and AC is equal to lambda by 2. So lambda by 2 into 2 lambda will get 2 get cancelled, you get lambda square, and that is nothing but what? Either intensity is maximum or either intensity is minimum, but the wavelength of light is double. Because of that one, we can say that the point P is having minimum intensity. So by using these three cases, we can consider in general A sin theta n. Look at here, A sin, in terms of n we are taking, that's why we wrote A sin theta n. This B is represent in terms of what? N lambda, and this relation it shows that the width of the given slit is directly proportional to the wavelength of light. That means if width is maximum, if wavelength of light is maximum, then width is depend on the wavelength of light. Okay, and if the wavelength of light is minimum, then the width of the given slit is depend on the given wavelength of light. So therefore sin theta n, which is given by n lambda upon A, where n is equal to plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. Why we have considered plus minus 1, 2? Why we have considered this sign plus and minus? Because here we have considered upper half which is represent plus and lower half which is represent minus, and because of that one we have considered alternate dark and bright band. Look at here, suppose this P0 is bright point, then upper halves which is represent positive but lower half which is represent negative. That's why the value of n we are represent in terms of plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, whereas theta n is called direction of nth minimum intensity. The second point is what is the position of secondary maximum. So the position of secondary maximum, that means here we can consider if the path difference is odd multiple of lambda by 2, then A sin theta n, instead of n you just have to write down 2n plus 1. Why? Because we have considered odd multiple, and because of that one lambda by 2, that means here we have considered 2 halves CA and CB. So what will happen? Sin theta n is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda upon 2a, where n again the range is same as compared to this minimum. So from equation 2 and 3, look at here, from this equation 2 and 3, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that the diffraction pattern due to a single slit consists maximum central bright point at P0 only, but that point P0 is followed by alternate minima and maxima on the both side. Look at here, diagrammatical representation. It shows that point P0, the intensity we are taking on y-axis, and x-axis we are consider sin theta. That means whenever theta, the angle changes, whenever the secondary source get disturbed, because of that one angle is changes. So the at point P0, when we consider central point of the given slit, that is C, at this stage we are consider central maxima. That means at point P the intensity is maximum, and apart from P0 whenever we are consider alternate minima and maxima, this upper, the top peak of this waves we can consider in terms of maxima, and this lower peak which is shown by black lines we are represent in terms of minima. So the minima we are represent lambda upon A, 2 lambda upon A. Why? We have considered n lambda. So n is equal to 1, then we can write lambda upon A. N is equal to 2, we can write 2 lambda upon A. N is equal to 3, we can write 3 lambda upon A. Same for negative, minus 1, so we can write minus lambda upon A. Minus 2, then minus 2, minus 3, then minus 3 lambda upon A. And in case of this maxima, here we are using this, so 2n plus 1. If n is equal to 1, so 2 ones are 2 plus 1, 3 lambda upon 2a. Right, so that term we are representing in terms of what? 3 lambda upon 2a. Again n is equal to 2, then 5 lambda upon 2a, that means odd multiple, then 7 lambda upon 2a. Here we are represent minus 3 lambda upon 2a, minus 5 lambda upon 2a, and minus 7 lambda upon 2a. That's why we are considered alternate minima and maxima on both the side. And here this column, this bracket, it shows that V and R, that means what? Violet and red. We know that the wavelength of light, when we consider red light having maximum wavelength and the violet light having minimum wavelength. So if the wavelength of light is maximum, then the width of the given slit is maximum, and if the wavelength of light is minimum, then width of light is minimum. And in between, whatever color are present, we are considering color. So indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, these 5 colors which is present in between this V and R, having in between width. That means it should be minimum or it should be maximum depending on the wavelength of light. And because of that one, we can say that width of the given width of the central maximum band is directly proportional to the wavelength of light. And the expression is, look at here, if L is very close to slit or the screen is far away, that means, look at here, if we assume that this convex lens is very close to this narrow slit, or we can consider this screen xy is far away from the source, far away from the given slit, then what will happen? This D is equal to the focal point of the given focal point which is obtained by these sources. Because of that, when we are consider focal point F is equal to this D, capital D, and that D is nothing but distance between slit and the screen. So because of that one, sine theta is equal to x upon f. Here we have to find out the value of sine theta. The sine theta which is given by x upon f, which is nothing but x upon d, because of this assumption. So for first secondary, that means if you are consider n is equal to 1, look at here, again we are using same thing from equation 2. So n is equal to 1, sine theta which is equal to lambda upon a. So compare these two equation, we will get lambda upon lambda upon a is equal to x upon d. Therefore x is equal to lambda d upon a. But the width is nothing but 2 into x. Why we have considered this width is equal to 2 into x? Because of that one, look at here, this distance we are represent in terms of x, and this distance if you measure, you will get half of the slit, right? That is CB. Whatever distance CB, that is nothing but fringe width of this diffraction pattern. So what about this upper half? So we have to add it. That's why we can write 2x which is equal to w. So we can write width of the given slit is equal to 2 times x. X we already know that lambda d upon a, multiply by 2 it will get 2 lambda d upon a. Again if you are using same assumption, that is d is equal to f, will get 2 lambda f upon a. So this is the expression to this is the expression, or this is the formula to give the value of width of the central maximum point when we consider in terms of Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Okay, in the next video we will discuss about the Rayleigh criterion and resolving power of telescope and microscope with respect to diffraction of light. Okay, if you have any difficulties, you can leave a comment in comment box. We will see in the next lecture. Thank you.